group mentality, all right? A lot of times, this system studies how people think and how the brain operates. All right, so I want you to see this piece.
So, you walk into an elevator and naturally you turn and face the door, right? It's just what we do without even thinking. Here on Would You Fall For That, we decided we had to pay homage to Candid Camera.
How this man tries to maintain his individuality.
So right now we are reenacting their famous test of conformity. The elevator experiment. So we found a nice elevator at the Juilliard School and gathered our Would You Fall For That stuff. If we turn to face the back of the elevator, would others follow? All right, in the blue t-shirt, that is Nadia. She is an innocent passerby. Has nothing to do with this. Everybody else in that elevator, they all work for Would You Fall For That. They are all in on the experiment. They are all purposefully facing the wrong way. Nadia is facing the front. You can just see the back of her head. Wearing the blue t-shirt, that's Nadia. She is facing the front of the elevator like a normal human being. Everybody else is facing the back. We're playing this to you in real time, no editing, as it actually happened. Okay, floor 2. Rebecca gets off, Emily gets on, she also works for us. We're swapping people in and out to reinforce the behavior. Emily's acting like it's the most normal. Oh, Nadia's turned. Nadia, okay, her bag is slipping off her shoulder. She's nervously playing with it. Nadia's now halfway round. Will she go any further? Emily gets off, Mike gets on. Again, Mike works for the show. Presses his button, faces the back like it's the most normal thing in the world, like he does it every day. Nadia is really feeling the pressure right now.
I'm not going to see anyone else.
Scott's making some small talk.
He was in celebrity rehab, I think.
She's looking towards the back of the elevator because everybody else is. Floor 4. Fourth floor, Mike gets off. Lauren gets on. Lauren also works for us. She's in. Oh, and Nadia has gone. The fourth floor, Nadia has turned all the way around. She's looking at the back of the elevator. That is not normal human behavior. Nadia is looking at the back of the elevator purely because everybody else is.
So somebody explain to me what just happened.
Oh my God.
She felt the pressure.
She felt the pressure.
Yeah, being out of place.
Right, she wanted to conform to the group, all right?
Okay, you've seen it in real time. Let's play that for you again in fast forward. Nadia, turning. Turn.
Did you notice anything while we were standing in the elevator? We were all facing one way and we wanted to see if the person would do it. And you
Did it, yeah. So you're wondering why.
Yeah.
But you just went along with it without even questioning.
Yeah.
Social scientists refer to this as the Ash paradox, when a person's own opinions and actions are influenced by the majority of the group.
Now, what mainly affects that whole group mentality? Like, what shapes that? What shapes our group mentality? A lot of times it comes from society and television, okay? Like, if you watch different news programs, they tell you basically what's going on, and people usually accept it without doing any research on it, okay?
With the gray coat, she is a civilian. Everybody else in the elevator is on our team. That is Elizabeth. She's facing the front as she should, but she's looking around. She's noticed that everybody else is facing the back. She's looking around, wondering what's going on. This is a bit odd. Everybody else is acting like nothing strange is happening. Elizabeth is looking around like something very strange is happening. We're on the second floor. She's slightly turned. She's turned. Look at her shoulders. She's not facing the front anymore. She's moved. Emily gets on. Again, she's with us. Presses her button. Elizabeth looks at her. Emily faces the back. Elizabeth is turning. Elizabeth is turning. She's pretending she's just looking around, but that's a cover. She's actually turning as well. She's an innocent passerby, gets on. Everybody else is in on the experiment. She presses a button, immediately complies. She faces the back, because everybody else is.
You walked in and you started facing the same direction we all were, right?
I actually thought that you all knew something that I didn't.
That's the crux. She bowed to the pressure of the group. Conformed. But, you know, it doesn't work every time.
This is so weird. Everyone's facing this way and I'm facing that way.
We're on floor 3 for anyone who can't see.
Is he being helpful or sarcastic? We're about to pick it up a notch. What if Scott played some music on his phone and gradually all of our staff in the elevator started to dance? Would people get down while they're going up? Okay, man in the hat, he's looking at his phone. He's got earbuds in. And here's another angle of our stranger. Who's gonna cave? Oh, his head's nodding, He's getting down. That did not take long. He has joined in the elevator dance party. Yep, there he goes. The shoulders are going now. He's getting into it. Head bobbing. Nice. He has joined in dancing because everybody else is. No rhyme, no reason. Just moves.
One by one, seemed like everybody started to catch on, and I figured I like a good dance party. I'm not gonna be the one standing on the wall not dancing.
Would you bump that? Would you bump that?
So basically, we see what's going on here. It's like, even with like peer pressure. That's why a lot of kids come to peer pressure, because they want to be with the group. They want to follow everybody else. All right. But I'm showing you that to show you something a little bit later that I want you to see. But right now, I did a presentation at Masjid Allah. It was called a television tool of indoctrination. And in this presentation, I showed them this video that I'm about to show you now. It's from a show from 1974. It's called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. All right? Now, this is one of the first animated sitcoms. Something weird just happened.
Practice patience. Trust me, you raise.
Good evening, Mr. Ready. When
Oh.
they make their move to overthrow the government, we'll handle them. Oh, them.
I want you to listen to this conversation that these two
We went on
had.
the news last weekend. We are trained and ready. When they make their move to overthrow the government, we'll handle them. Oh, them. Don't you read the papers? The commies and the mafia have gotten together with the Jews, your Negroes, and your Puerto Ricans. The Japanese and the Mexicans are in on it too. Along with the liberals, the Catholics, everybody on welfare, and of course all them college kids, what we call the hippies. They're out to take over the country.
Take over the country? That is the country. But just how are they going to do it?
Through pornography and fluoridation.
Now, how did he say they were going to take over the country? Through the use of what?
Pornography and fluoridation. What
Pornography and
year was
fluoridation.
that?
Huh?
What year was that?
That was 1974. Now, what I did was, last time I went the route of talking about fluoride. Does anybody know what the main ingredient of rat poison is? Main ingredient of rat poison is fluoride. All right? And if you look, the way that you prove it is you look on the back of your toothpaste. What does it say? Don't swallow more than a pea-sized amount if you do contact with what? A poison control center. Okay? So it's very interesting that they're telling you not to swallow more than a pea-sized amount, but on the commercials, don't they put a whole bunch of toothpaste on it, right? Another interesting thing is that fluoride, Harvard did a study on it and found out that fluoride lowers people's IQ. And they also put fluoride in the drinking water. So something weird is going on here. But that's the route I went this time. But this time, I'm gonna go the other route, where they talked about pornography, okay? Now I want you to see this. This is an interview with the serial killer, Ted Bundy. Y'all probably too young to remember Ted Bundy.
I remember.
Ted Bundy? All right.
Yeah.
But I want you to hear what he has to say, all right? This thing's still active. It says on January 24th, 1989, serial killer Ted Bundy was executed by electric chair after being sentenced for the rape and murder of over 30 women and girls. All right? The day before his death, in his final interview, he talked almost exclusively about the dangers of pornography and the effects it had on his own life.
A young boy, and I mean a boy of 12, 13, certainly, that I encountered outside the home again, in the local grocery store, the local drugstore, the softcore pornography, what people call softcore. And it happened in stages, gradually. It doesn't necessarily, not to me at least, happen overnight. Once you become addicted to it, and I look at this as a kind of addiction. Like other kinds of addiction, I would keep looking for more potent, more explicit, more graphic signs of material. Like an addiction, you keep craving something which is harder, something which gives you a greater sense of excitement. Again, I'm talking from personal experience, hard, real personal experience. The most damaging kinds of pornography are those that involve violence and sexual violence. Some people would say that, well, I've seen that stuff and it doesn't do anything to me. I wasn't a pervert in the sense that, people look at somebody and say, I know there's something wrong with them and just tell. I mean, I was essentially a normal person. I had good friends. I led a normal life, except for this one small but very potent and very destructive segment of it that I kept very secret, very close to myself, and didn't let anybody know about it. I'm no social scientist, and I haven't done a survey. I mean, I don't pretend that I know what John Q. Citizen thinks about this. But I've lived in prison for a long time now. And I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception, deeply influenced and consumed by an addiction to pornography. There's no question about it. The FBI's own study on serial homicide shows that the most common interest among serial killers is pornography. And pornography can reach out and snatch a kid out of any house today. It snatched me out of my home 20, 30 years ago. And as diligent as my parents were, and they were diligent in protecting their children, and as good a Christian home as we had, and we had a wonderful Christian home, there is no protection against the kinds of influences that are loose in the society that tolerates There are kids sitting out there switching the TV dial around and come upon these movies late at night, or I don't know when they're on, but they're on and any kid can watch them. It's scary when I think what would have happened to me if I had seen them. Scary enough. I mean, that I just ran into stuff outside the home, but...
Now you think about it. Our children are exposed to all kinds of stuff on television and the internet, okay? So these things are shaping their minds, okay? And like he said, there's stuff that's on television now that's way worse than what was on when he was young, okay?
To know that children are watching.
So there's a correlation between somebody watching a sexual amount of pornography to them being a serial killer.
Well,
that's what he is saying.
Well, he's saying that a lot of the people that he met in prison, that was the one thing that they had in common. You know, all of them had that in common, that they were watching a lot of pornography, okay? And it's funny because, like I said, this system studies the mind, and they know how the mind works. So they're saying, you know, he's saying, well, he's just speaking to you from his own experience, that this is what it did to him, okay? And then, you know, he talks about, you know, seeing the slasher movies and stuff of the day. He said if he would have saw that stuff when he was, you know, younger, he would have been worse, okay?
What did he say about the age? He gave a range of time for his age. What did he say? He said 25, 30 years? He's not really that, he didn't die that old.
Yeah, no, he wasn't that old when he was killed. But I don't remember what the age range he said he was.
Kind of think today, or can pick up their phone and dial away for it or send away for it. And it's coming to the present now, because what I'm talking about happened 20, 30 years ago. That is, in my formative stages. And what scares and appalls me, Doctor?
Now remember, this is before cell phones. All right, this is before the access to the internet that all the kids have now. You know, it's sad because, like I said, I'm a school teacher. So in school, you have children going around drawing genitalia on the walls, okay? And I mean little children. And the stuff that's coming out of their mouth and stuff, you gotta really think about it. You know, it's a shame that, you know, we don't have our own schools. You know, it's just like Malcolm said. Malcolm said, when you put the education of your children in the hands of your enemy, your children will become your enemy. And that's what's happening. You know, our children are turning against us, you know. You know, this system doesn't teach them about God or anything. It's taking God away from their lives.
Dobson is, when I see what's on cable TV, some of the movies, I mean, some of the violence in the movies, they come into homes today with stuff that they wouldn't show in X-rated adult theaters 30 years ago.
Now, this is a
turn signal with Kim.
This is a news story that I thought was interesting that they did on that interview. So this is a little short clip, but I want you to see this and see what they have to say here.
Troby.
The evening before his execution in 1989, serial killer Ted Bundy sat down for an exclusive interview with Dr. James Dobson. Bundy took responsibility for his actions, but he blamed pornography as a key factor in the killings of at least 35 women and girls.
I've lived in prison for a long time now, and I've met a lot of men who were motivated to commit violence just like me. And without exception, every one of them was deeply involved in pornography, without question, without exception.
Bundy requested the interview with Dr. Dobson because he had watched him serve on the Attorney General's Commission on Pornography. He trusted the focus on the family founder to convey his warnings accurately.
And what scares and appalls me, Dr. Dobson, is when I see what's on